So yesterday was my birthday, and I celebrated the way I wanted to. I didn't do anything. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to have a girls' dinner. I didn't want to have a brunch. I didn't want to go out to eat. I didn't want to do anything, and I was okay with that. Normally, I'm all about celebrating my day. I didn't want to do anything like that.
At the next light, take a slight right turn.
Watched the sunset. I attempted to. I had a little visitor with me that was a little talkative, a little hungry. Like I didn't get to enjoy that. So today I had business to handle, so I had to get out the house and do that. And I'm fine with that. Yesterday was my birthday. I celebrated. I was off. I did it how I wanted to do it.
At the light, take a slight right turn.
I have class today, and the trash goes out. The trash is picked up on Wednesdays. So I try to never, ever, 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 ever say I'm gonna take it out in the morning, because it never happens that way. I have to take it out like now on my way to class. I'm getting in the car. I gotta walk by the trash can anyway. Besides,
in
I never leave food.
Take a slight left turn onto Harrison
in the house overnight. I got a strong sense of smell, so I never want to smell anything that's been cooked, whatever, especially flesh that's got to go out the same night. So I had to go downstairs anyway, so I was like, let me go ahead and take the trash out. I can see the can down there. So I got about 200,000
Take a
stairs.
slight left turn onto Harrison Pike.
And so I'm trying to get a little jog in, because my other mother told me she keeps some steps because they keep her young, but she just had to have her hip replaced, and she still wants steps. And I'm like, I hate steps. I'm on the one level. Like, I don't want any more steps. So as I'm hopping and going up them steps, I was like, where did I get that back there? Like, I've been small my whole entire life, except for the time that I was fat and nobody told me. But my whole entire life I've been small. No curves, no shape, no nothing. I've just been, either I've been really skinny or pregnant. I went from a size 2 in a prom dress to maternity. There was no in between that shit. And so at my heaviest, I was probably a 9, 10, which isn't really big, but to me it was big, coming from being so there's been no curves and nothing. It's only during pregnancy. It's when sis was glowing, curving, everything. So I cut out the meat. And I guess I'm like Fantasia, just been eating collard greens and cornbread, but I don't even eat cornbread. And most of y'all collard greens be cooked with meat, so I can't eat that shit anyway. But eating beans and greens and bread because you don't eat meat anymore will give you that little rump back there, that little fatty, because I never had it before, and I thank God for it, because I didn't have to buy it. Like I said, there's anything wrong with buying it, because I thought about it a couple of times. I just was like, God, I be having to have surgery to live, right, with the endometriosis and the fibroids and things like that. Ain't no way I'm finna play with you and have surgery cosmetically and get no booty, because I'm in the South. Like, when you in the South, you gotta have, or they'll think there's something wrong with you if you ain't. Because, in the South, we all got a curve or two, like, somewhere. And I used to hear girls say, you gotta carry that fat. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, it's part of the body. It ain't no extra. It's extra weight. It does feel like, I don't know if anybody's ever driven a car and they had some junk in the trunk for real, and when you swerve it, the junk moves around and you can hear it and you can feel it in the chrome. It said, that's what the fuck this feels like. Now, I'm not going to go as far as to complain about it, because like I said, I never had it. I wanted it. I thought about paying for it.
Take a slight right.
So I thank God and my mother and the genes that I have, because apparently, according to my kids, my legs are still skinny as fuck. Right? Which, I looked at my aunt's legs, I looked at my mom and them legs. We just have small, it's a little chicken legs a little bit. My ex's side doesn't have that, so they have thicker legs, and so to them my legs were small. But okay, so I got these small legs, and then I'm trying to carry the junk in the trunk, and it's heavy, and I'm like, damn it. Like, even if you don't got no big old one, you just gotta, but when you run up, so I met a lady who said she do 200 squats every day. The knees aren't like Megan knees anymore. These are knees of a grown woman. They used to back it up and drop it. So the knees aren't great anymore. So the 200 squats a day is definitely like pushing it, right? Cause the fuck. But there's definitely
1 mile, turn right onto Wilcox Boulevard.
There's definitely some type of regimen that has to be done to be able to tote what God gifted me with. You understand? I have to find a way to carry it. And that is a word itself, because we pray and ask God for an abundance. No matter what it is, if it be money, or if it be blessings, or if it be a nice shape, a nice body, a successful career, a perfect husband, that is on the list.
At the next light, turn right.
But we are asking for these things, not sure if we'll be able to tote it, if we can carry it, if we can stand up to hold it, or if we are enough. Now, the enough to me is what brings in imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome can mean many different things to many different people, but for me it means standing up and saying something or believing in something when you really feel like either you're not qualified, you're not degreed, or they picked the wrong motherfucker. Just me.
At the light, turn right onto Wilcox Boulevard.
I can't tell you the number of times I walked in the room and I've been the only. My daughter asked me yesterday, what's a token? And I was like, oh, okay, baby, a token is when you go somewhere and they give you a token. She was like, nope, that's not what I mean. And I was like, okay, well, sometimes mommy hasn't been the token anymore. Okay, sometimes you've been the token anymore. Sometimes your grandmama, your great-grandmama, sometimes they were the tokens. But we often ask for things that we don't even know if we can hold it. So I walked in rooms and I looked around and I'm like, I'm not supposed to be here. Why am I here? And then they wanted to know what I thought. I remember going to a writers group years ago, and I was the only black in there. And female, of course. Miles. So that's
the destination is on your right.
2 outs from me. I took a picture, and my ex was like, "Are you at a nursing home?" But to hear them compliment my writing, or to have an opinion, because they look amongst the elite, that maybe sometimes I'm not supposed to be in the room. But I no longer have to show up as an imposter because I've been certified. And they said God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the call. And so we pray for an abundance of anything, and when it comes, you have to be ready. I'm learning so much about myself just being in a class with like-minded people, where we don't have to be an imposter, we don't have to be the eyeball, but we are really kind of creative, so what we like, the next person isn't going to even fucking understand, let alone can appreciate. But amongst us, we get it. So we like, okay, I get you, you get me, we good. So how do we equip ourselves to carry this? Well, it's going to have to be, I got to get my ass back out and got to start back walking. I used to walk all the time. It was a stress reliever for me. And I got to the point where I was like, I don't want to walk today. I'm going to walk tomorrow. And I'm going to start over Monday. And next month. And I'm going to do it today. And I never get to it. But in order to maintain and hold and carry and appreciate, I got to still put in the work. What does that mean? That means you got to show God he can trust you with a little bit. And then that way he knows he can trust you with a lot. That you won't go in there and you won't get drunk off of the first check. And then by the second check, you so fucking strung out, you willing to do anything. You desperate. It's a matter of feed your habit or die type situation. And I thank God that I don't have any vices like that. Like I said, I wanted to give up my hookah pen. And I was like, okay, this is the last one. I'm not going to buy another one. And then I lost it. I was like, well, I have to buy another one because I didn't get that one all the way out. And so I bought one more and I found the other one. And so now I'm down to the very last one. And I haven't even picked it up. It's in my purse. I carry it in my purse everywhere I go. Because it's like a cigarette for people. Like when people start getting on your nerves and you start smoking and puffing a cigarette, it's the same way with the hookah pen for me. It's not just a fun thing when you go to brunch, which is why I was like, oh, maybe I need a hookah pen just for brunch. Because I don't want to share hookah, but I still want to enjoy hookah.
The destination is on your right. 1673 South Holtzlaw Avenue.
So when you develop a vice or you get drunk off the Kool-Aid or there is a habit that you must feed, you become a slave to that habit. You become a fiend to whatever your new vice is. So you have to be able to recognize your weaknesses before anybody else can. And you have to know yourself. You have to love yourself, because if you don't, somebody, that's another way you'll get in that room and you'll see all that false love and you will think it's real love. But because you had false love, you dealt with false love, you dealt with toxic love, you know when you spot that shit to be like, nah, go on over there. I don't, that ain't what me and God talked about. He said I was past that stage. So the message or the lesson is to manifest it, pray about it, and then work. Because the Bible does say faith without works is dead. But they always saying, how's your faith? Trust your faith. What's your faith like? Put more faith into it. Faith on faith. Your faith doesn't have faith. Like, they talk about it, but it's easy to say and it's harder to do to have faith, because you believe in and you praying and you manifesting this one thing, but you're seeing something different. You're seeing bills piled up. You're seeing toxic, false love, and you're seeing friends fall away. You're seeing all of this shit, but you're holding on to that faith the size of a mustard seed, which is really, really small if you think about it, but compared to the body and the junk in the trunk. But damn it, I gotta get gas. But do your work. Show him, don't tell him. Because we as humans pay more attention to how you act than what you say. So if we don't believe what the fuck you saying, if you ain't doing no work or we ain't watching you talking about it but you ain't walking about it, God won't trust that shit either, because he already know you. So yeah, I did cuss and